Could your family use a little more bedtime magic? Well, I'm here to give you my 5 most magical pieces to beat the bedtime blues. So, when you're getting your kids to go to bed, there are sometimes some challenging behaviors that sneak on in. And first and foremost, I want to make sure that you get clear on what are some of the problem behaviors that happen throughout the day that happen to happen at bedtime as well, versus what are the behaviors that just happen at bedtime. Because if it just happens at bedtime, there are certain interventions you're going to use. But if they happen along the whole day, you need to make sure that the intervention you put in place can be used throughout the entire day, not just at bedtime. So, with that in mind, here are my 5 tips for getting bedtime magic in place. First, get clear on your bedtime routine. I know you've heard it before, you have the schedule in place, you have what you're supposed to be doing. But does it change? Does it change on how you're feeling or how your kids are feeling or how their behavior is going? Like if they're really whiny and pushing back, you read more books or less? Enough of that. I don't want your kids to learn anymore that if they push back, if they have problem behavior, if they whine enough, you're going to read to them longer, sing to them longer, let them stay up later. I want you to be clear on what your bedtime routine is and create one that you can stick to step by step by step. Number 2, write out your schedule and post it somewhere where your kids can see it. To beat the bedtime blues, you need your kids to be able to follow the schedule right alongside you. I don't want this to be something that just lives in your head and you are dictating it. Have it something be written down and concrete that your kids can follow. If your kids are too young to read at bedtime for now, make it into a visual. Make it something that has pictures instead of words, or pictures and words if you have kids of different ages. But you want that visual representation of what happens at bedtime right there in place for them. That routine is going to be critical. Number 3, I want you to use directions that are concrete, action-based, and positive. That was a lot of pieces. So concrete, action-based, and positive. Concrete, as in I actually know what you're talking about. It's not a concept, it's not an idea, it's not theoretical. I can understand the words you're using. Make sure your kids know exactly what it means. When you tell a child to just do it better, I don't exactly know what better means to you. So during your bedtime routine, I want you to make sure that you are talking to your kids in terms they understand, in action-based, which means this is what I want to see your body do. This is what next step I want you to take. Take your t-shirt off, put on your pajama top. Put your t-shirt in the hamper, right? Walk into the bathroom. Action-based, so that it is very clear what you want them to be doing. And then positive. I want it to be what you want to see them do, not what you want them to stop doing. Because if they stop doing, some other behavior is going to come into place. And if we don't tell them what it is, they'll fill it in. So rather than just having your kids stop doing what they're doing, as part of bedtime, keep telling them what the next step is, and then what the next step is, and then what the next step is, and then what the next step is after that. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, if you've been following along, if you're a subscriber to any of my channels, you know that the step after this, oh yes, the step after this is to celebrate each and every step, right? So you have the routine, you have it posted somewhere, you're giving your child concrete, action-based, positive directions, and they do what you want them to do. So now it is time for you to celebrate. Now, maybe you're not going to get wild and crazy. Maybe you're going to be quiet and demure because it's bedtime and you want them to be soothed. But you're still going to let them know that you are excited that they did what you wanted them to do. That is absolutely the direction we are headed in. And then the 5th and final tip that I have for you is stick to your routine. Kids thrive in routine across the board in all areas of their life, but especially at bedtime. Now, you know that sticking to a bedtime routine can be tricky. I get it. So you get to decide what the routine is and make it something that you can stick to. It doesn't mean changing the rules around everything. It just means being honest about how many books are you willing to read your child and then sticking to it. How long do they have to brush their teeth? And then sticking to it. Do they really have to put on their pajamas, or you don't care if they sleep in their clothes? Because if you don't care, then the pajamas don't have to be part of their routine. They can just be an added bonus. But you have to make a routine that you can stick to so that you can teach your kids how to do it. And that's how you get behavior change, by leading, by modeling, by putting in structures, and then teaching your kids to follow along in that structure. It's not really behavior magic. It's just behavioral tools and tricks. And that is what I have for you. I do have one more bonus piece for you, because we focus so much on our kids' bedtime routines, our kids getting a good night's sleep, that sometimes you forget that as an adult, you need a bedtime routine also. The more structured, the more succinct you are, the more routines you are in your own sleep routines, your own bedtime routines, the better your sleep will be as well. So don't shortchange yourself by only having a routine for your kids. Sound good? Sounds good to me. If you want more tips and tricks like this, make sure you follow and subscribe here, as well as consider joining my parenting group. It is the best parenting class you've ever been a part of, because I'm there live every day with you. So it's Parents Doing It All. It's a bit.ly link, and don't worry, it's right down in the comments for you to click on and subscribe and join and come be a part of it. So I will see you there. I will see you next time. Happy bedtime. Bye.